Yep, it's a good looking car.
So in terms of the drive, 1.5 NA CVT, you know what you're expecting, right? You full throttle, it's gonna be loud, really loud, and it's Honda. Honda has the best 1.5 liter NA engine, and it's powerful. It picks up speed, it's relentless in a way, okay? Then you slow back down, because that's what you might do during a test drive. Let's try some bad roads. Handles it pretty okay, pretty well, not uncomfortable. Suspension is good. Suspension is very good. See, even this type of tight gap, can you do it? You may be able to. You can. And the handling, the car handles well. It's a fun handling car. This drop, beautiful suspension. Okay, so I have no surprises with the drivetrain. I'm not expecting some really sophisticated drivetrain because I understand what is underneath this car. This is the basic platform, 1.5 NA CVT. Think of it like a Honda City, okay? So it's nippy, it's small, it's a fun looking car. And I understand that, I get that. When you buy a Honda City sedan, you look more utilitarian. When you have a WRV, you know, it's more like, you know, lifestyle, lifted up a little bit, albeit a little bit, okay? So soundproofing wise, don't expect much because this is not a luxury car. These are entry-level cars, alright? Expect them to be around what they are. 1.5 NA, front-wheel drive, small and tight cabin. That's why you have meaningful acceleration. I regard these cars as the same category as a Myvi, alright? Brakes are firm and good. I regard them in the same category. Vios, City, Myvi, this, not the Beza. Beza is shit. Beza is a shit car, okay? That is a shit car, okay? But I know it's cheap and it's spacious, so no choice, right? But Beza, probably you can do something with their suspension. Okay, I take back the shit word because it's cheap and it's big, but a used Camry is cheaper and bigger also, and it's a Toyota and it's reliable, okay? So for the drive, I really have no complaint. The size of the steering wheel is good. Road noise is apparent. It's just coming in and coming in and coming in, but it's never at one point it is hyper uncomfortable. It's not. You have manual seats, you even have a manual handbrake. The whole car is new, it's 2024. You might go up the car and forgot about the handbrake. You might press the push start and you start driving. You have pedal shifters, you have lane keep assist, all these things, and yet manual handbrake. So some ladies who didn't pull it tight, you may just feel that your car can still go, and then you can hear the car dong 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 because of the handbrake. Other than that, any surprises? No. Easy to park, of course. It's a tiny car, it's a small car. Rear seats is nowhere near the space of a Myvi. It is of course nowhere near the space of a Honda City or Vios or even a Yaris. It is tighter than all of them. However, it is more expensive than all of them, okay? This will be my driving part. I won't talk about the complaints later, I'll leave that later, but this is my driving video. So, suspension good, handling decent, good. Power is not a fast car, but you have to plant your throttle and wait for the transmission to just scream its way till you reach home. But you will pick up speed, because Honda has the best 1.5 NA engine, okay? And Honda CVT is not bad also, after all these years. You will enjoy this car at Genting Run because it's nippy, it handles well, suspension is good, and the transmission, CVT transmissions on a weak 1.5 liter car is always enjoyable at Genting. Why? Because it always puts the car in the right gear no matter what. And then you will feel that, hey, I don't need to lift my foot off the throttle, it just goes. So that's my verdict of the Honda WRV in terms of the drive. Alright, all this, we'll come to that later. Everything is hard plastic. There are some parts that are plush, but it's more for garnishing purposes. Other than that, it's all hard plastics everywhere. The kind that hurts your knuckles. the cheapest type. Okay, some molding stuffs in the door bin is sharp. Okay, look at that. See my fingers? All right. Not a lot of molding lines can be found. The center console is very low, so it doesn't touch my knee, so it's not uncomfortable, but it was intentionally molded that low so that there is a differentiation between this and more expensive cars. So it's like if I accelerate, that's what you will hear. But it pulls, continuous pulling, right? It's not a slow car. Brakes are fantastic. The brake feel is fantastic. Okay, so yeah, that's the driving part. Now comes, is it worth it? Ha 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 ha. Alright, now comes the part on whether the car is worth buying or not. No. So I will call my colleague, Rachel, who has a Honda City. I mean, if she's free lah. I know our schedules are really tight. If I can have the time, because we're returning this car on Monday, and probably after that, Honda wouldn't like me anymore. But anyway, I mean, Honda, they've never liked me. I mean, I don't get it. It's slant. Saying it, bro. Can you? 你看不出咩？
我以为这样子好看一点。Okay.
Sorry, Okay. So Monday we are returning this car, so I'm not sure if I have the time. Because if I have the time, I will park the Honda City next to this and objectively compare both. Right? The thing you have to think in your mind when you sit into this car is, what makes this car 20,000-30,000 more than a Honda City? Just because it's race? Is there a four-wheel drive system down there? No. Right? Is it like those expensive leather frame with a body on top? No. Right? This, in every essence, when I sit inside here, I look behind me and all that, right? This is the size of an Axia. This is an Axia size car that has been jacked up. And they mounted some, you know, radar, distronic stuff, lane keep assist stuff, and it's being sold at 100, I don't know, 10, maybe less than that, 1,000. This is purely the car maker's price bracket positioning. Okay, they position this as, oh, a mini HRV, lifestyle, you know, CRV, HRV, WRV, you know, more lifestyle. But in every measure, this car is not worth buying when compared to a Honda City, right? I would regard the standard, what do you call that? The standard form factor for fresh grad car or your first decent car. I mean, put aside the local makes, you know, the Perodras and all that, right? Let's look about the Japanese, the Yaris, the Honda City, the Vios and all that, right? I would say the Honda City has always been the gold standard because it's spacious, it has a spacious boot, it drives well, all these things are cleverly appointed, cubby spaces everywhere, and then it is at the price benchmark with the others. And its engine, the 1.5 NA engine of Honda City, has always been the best performer when compared to Toyota or Mazda's 1.5 or just about whoever else. Okay, it has been the gold standard. Now, the Honda City can be had for what price? As the entry price towards the Honda City, is it 90,000? I forgot. I have no idea, but they are always about 80, 90, and then towards the higher spec, probably touching 100,000 or more than 100,000. Okay, which at that point is not really worth it. Okay, but this car, this WRV, is at 100, and then you come inside here. This is the space that you get. Think about it. By the time you can afford a 110k car, right? You're probably, average person speaking, right? You're probably in the range of 25, 26 years old. Okay, that means you have worked for probably 2 or 3 years, and then this is the kind of car that you can approve with your loan and all that, and you get it. And in a short while, you will immediately feel that this car is too small. Really, because it's tight at the back there. It's tight in the boot. It's a small car. What makes this car 100 over 1,000 when compared to the city, hatchback. So be a smart consumer, buy a Honda City. Don't be a dumb consumer buying a Honda WRV. You may like how it looks. I quite like how it looks. I like how it drives. I like everything about it except the price, because to me it just doesn't make sense, because this is essentially the size of an Axia. It is smaller, way smaller than that of a Honda City. Okay, and if you want me to talk about the dashboard, the interior, there's literally nothing new. I mean, you have the light controls over here, the start stop button on the right side, you have the aircon vents placed up high, decent, and then okay, nothing, never mind. You don't need rear aircon vents for such a tight car, a small car, okay? And then you have this, which is pretty standard. Your Bluetooth, your whatever play, okay? You have manual aircon buttons, which is good. The buttons feel good, you know, but a simple thing, say for example, this is for the young generation, right? This is meant to appeal to youngsters, right? Where is the place to, I was expecting, you know, a place that I can hold a phone or something. Yeah, just molding here, you get cubby spaces, yes. You get a manual handbrake, right? If you didn't pull it strong enough, like you pull it normally, right, like that, right, you still can go, see? You still can go. But of course you will hear that. You drop it. Alright? This one, really tiny. Alright? The mechanism is firm. It's nice. That's about it. Airbags, all that. These are pretty good quality visors. What else? Nothing. Speed bump. Very good suspension. Okay? And the steering wheel looks sporty. You get red stitches over here, leather. Yeah, I mean, if this car is priced at on par, right, or around there with the Honda City, meaning that Honda has two cars competing in that price point, it will be wonderful. It will be an attractive alternative. All right, in no way this car will cost more to build than the Honda City. Alright, so that's my verdict on the WRV. Remember, be a smart consumer, buy a Honda City. Hatchback or sedan, up to you. This one, I don't think is worth it. I know it's not Honda Malaysia's fault, it's how Honda Japan determines price bracket. If you understand how they design products for consumers, you will see that they are merely looking at this society's income level. Every bracket has one demographic, and then they slot their products in to that bracket regardless of manufacturing cost. It has nothing to do with manufacturing cost. It has everything to do with marketing, pricing, positioning. Alright? HRV is worth it. CRV, I mean, it has reached that price point, but it's a lot of car for that money. Okay, City, good. City hatchback, good. This one, not so. Or probably it's because of Malaysia and they cannot price it lower. Then it's entirely not Honda's fault. That can be a case as well. So as you guys know, I have always since day one tell people, don't buy the Perodor Ativa, buy the Myvi, because it makes no sense. That car is 30,000 more than a Myvi when it's just the same thing. Okay? Bye bye.
In 400
Cheers.
meters,